Hola, buenos días. Soy Nico.
Well. I know someone who will be pleased to know this.
Nico, why are you in a poo shiesty? Because y'all love straight men so much. I'm going to be pretending to be one of the straight men that you love so badly in this video. But nah, this is actually my first time wearing a poo shiesty. This is actually wildly uncomfortable. But yeah, if you like this kind of content, make sure to follow me on patreon.com/Nicosaesthetics for more exclusive videos, weekly live streams, and to be a part of said live streams where we have various conversations with a varied panel of different opinions. If that sounds interesting to you, definitely tune in. And I have a new haircut. Nico, reveal after reveal after reveal. Take off the mask, take off the wig. We're here. With that, Patreon exclusive. The Patreon exclusive for this week was when somebody was on a podcast basically talking about how when they do anonymous link ups, they send their partner to their neighbor's house instead of their own. That way, they can look through the door to make sure they're attracted to them before they actually let them in. They actually received pushback from the other hosts of the podcast because they were blatantly saying, first and foremost, you're putting your neighbor in danger. Secondly, that's not cool to leave somebody stranded out there for 30 minutes until they leave if you're not attracted to them. So if that sounds interesting to you and you want to have the conversation about navigating rejection or how to properly tell somebody you're not interested, definitely check that out. But yes, before we get distracted, last video's comment, it was actually from one of my faves, someone I've been watching since high school on YouTube. Cat Black commented she really appreciates my content right now. And I just want to say genuinely thank you. I feel like fun topics are good and well, and it brings us together for a quick key, but it's still important to talk about the serious things that happens within our community. So that's why I try to incorporate news stories or things that are actually happening that could affect us or that we could cause change from. But before we get distracted with that, and now let's get into the actual video. Today we're going to be talking about Timothy Champagne. Nico, who is that? The straight boy that I talked about last time, and y'all pushed back and said he's not straight. He's come out and said he's bi. So just a quick recap, because I'll link the video like I tend to do if there's an old video that you can get something from. Timothy is a content creator who came out as straight. He identified as straight up until like 2 years ago, where he then began to say he was bisexual. He then began to have multiple social media relationships with men that he later came out and said were all fake. He's never dated a man. He's not interested in dating men. He's only interested in making content with men because he makes money from them. That's what he said. That's exactly what he said. He's currently dating a woman. So he recently came out to first expose the industry by saying a lot of the content creators that you guys see on the industry are actually straight men. And first they're using ED medication. Nico, what is that? You're gonna have to Google it because I'm trying to get through YouTube censor's guidelines. Basically, it helps you stay ready to film. He then said that a lot of content creators are also on the juice. Nico, what do you mean? The juice. And I want to comment on all of that before we get started on him basically confirming that he's straight.
Of the guys in the gay modeling industry are straight. It's pretty much always been this way ever since I started at least 6 years ago. But a lot of guys just want to make money, and there's really not much money for men in doing straight videos. So people who are serious about making money off their body want to do the gay videos, which, to be honest, I see nothing wrong with that, considering we are just trying to sell a fantasy. So ultimately, as long as you're not scamming people, I don't think it really matters what your sexuality is. There's definitely a couple other things I want to talk about in the industry as well. We all pretty much take ED medicine, for those who know what that is. I mean, when you're shooting to get a good video for like 45 minutes to like 2 hours, you definitely need it. Because a lot of times when we are recording, we are in very uncomfortable positions. And you're having to flex like all your muscles, so your blood flow is going everywhere else besides where it needs to go. And that's why you take that medicine. The other thing I want to talk about is most of the guys who at least have a good muscular physique, they're going to be taking PEDs or something along those lines. That's just the nature of the business when you're trying to make money off of your body. That's what people do. See, our industry is very competitive, and you have to be willing to pretty much do whatever it takes to get an edge on your competition. But yeah, you know, if you're an enjoyer of gay content, I feel like you should know these things. I don't know. Nobody really talks about this stuff, so here I am. Anyway, peace out.
What I will say is the content creators that you see in the mainstream, for the most part, whether they be Latino or white, they are usually straight. Nico, unless they're actively filming the content, but even then, I know a lot of performers that are big names. It would blow your mind to find out they're straight. Hey, Nico here. I just want to clarify the reason I'm not disclosing their names is for the sole fact that I only cover conversations that are made public. So if somebody comes out and outs them, or if they come out and speak about it themselves, that's when I actively talk about something. I don't dig into people's personal lives or expose their secrets. Yeah, because what he said is true. Adult cinematography is not financially beneficial in the heterosexual market for men. When we're talking about men making money in adult cinematography, it is usually when they are doing gay and or gay adjacent content. So a lot of them will pop the Viagra. A lot of them will take the injection just so that they can be ready to film. Or some will just grin and bear it when they have to bottom, such as Timothy when he would fake his bottoming content. Nico, I've talked about this before. There were comments from his OnlyFans, basically people being upset that it was visibly fake. It's visibly fake, at least when he's bottoming. The one thing I will give him is that when he's topping, he's actually filming the content, but at the same time, that's because he has medication to help him do it. So when we had this original conversation, I was very upfront with saying he's not technically scamming you if you're following him for his topping content, but he is being untruthful about his orientation so that he can make money. The second video I'm about to show you is where that is basically confirmed, because he then goes on to say that he has taken a hit financially. He's no longer making $70,000 to $120,000 a month. He's gonna have to try to find a way to make his money back, because now he only makes $60,000 a month because he's done making gay content. Nico, he is a monogamous person and he is currently in a relationship with a woman, and he is so happy that he just cannot continue to make gay content. It's something that doesn't sit right with him and it's not his truth. So he continued to then say, I never joined the industry to make content with men. It was never my goal to have interactions with men. It was only for the money.
In the gay modeling industry. And I say used to be because I don't make gay videos anymore, but I'm still in the industry. Making videos with guys never really seemed very sustainable for me. And I've saved up over $1 million now, so I can take the risk of trying to find a more sustainable way to live my life. The reasons why it wasn't really sustainable for me is because that's not really who I am as a person. I'm a more monogamous type of person, and I really only like to date women. And I have an amazing girlfriend now who that is the only person I make videos with anymore. Which of course this has really hurt my income, because I used to make like, you know, anywhere from $70,000 to $120,000 a month. I make about 60 now, and that's probably gonna go lower. But like I said, at this point in my life, sustainability is what's really important to me. And I've been doing this job for 6 years. I'm sure I'll figure out a way in the future where I can get my income back up to where it was when I was working with guys. It's just a matter of time, in my opinion. I mean, the main reason I got into this industry in the first place was because I'm passionate about fitness. I like cinematography, and I like being popular on social media. I mean, obviously I also like photography. It wasn't because I got to work with guys. So I pretty much just want to go back to my roots, and that feels like a more sustainable way to live my life. So yeah, anyway, peace out.
So now that I've made at least $1 million and I'm still making 60 bands a month, I guess I'll just have to put myself on a budget, because now I'm so in love with my girlfriend and I'll never date a man, and I've never dated a man, and I only used you for content, that now I'm going to focus on my girlfriend and my wealth. And I'm just sitting here like, when I had this conversation with y'all, when I was very upfront with y'all, basically saying, yes, as of 2 years ago, he's saying that he is now bisexual, even though he admitted to faking all his content, even though he admitted that he's on juice and that he has to use medication to stay ready for the content, even though he admitted that he never wanted to actually film with men, he just wanted to make money, even though he admitted that all the relationships with men that he had were all fake. People in the comments were still telling me I was crazy for calling him a straight man cosplaying. And I'm just sitting here like, What more do you need to hear from this man to realize that you are getting basically the wool pulled over your eyes? Because I won't say he's scamming you. If you're subscribing to him for his bottoming content, he's scamming you because that's fake. But if you're subscribing for top content, you're getting your money's worth. It's just under a false pretense. So you should know that before you subscribe and give him your money. If you're okay with that, then that's cool. But someone actively telling you we're all straight, we all have to be medicated to actually work. I never actually wanted to work with men. Now that I have $1 million from your community and I'm happy with my girlfriend, I'm gonna quit. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Especially because all the comments in his Instagram reels that he's been putting out have been basically saying, first of all, you're full of it. Why are you so okay with scamming? We're tired of all these shenanigans. But people are still going to support him because he is white and he is muscular and fit. And that's what he said. A lot of people in our community, in the industry and outside of the industry, a lot of people would be surprised by how many people you know that are secretly on juice, but it just doesn't appear to be the case. So, like you said, a lot of people in the industry are juiced up or having to be medicated so that they can do these things because they're here to sell a fantasy and they have to be peak physical condition. And what I will say is, especially for black men in the industry, as a black man in the industry, you have to be perfect. You have to be physically perfect. You have to have personality. You have to have perfect stroke game. But when it comes to everybody else, it's kind of just whatever you bring to the table. And as someone who is natty, Nico, I am natural. I take creatine and protein. Those are the two things I intake into my body. I have a personal trainer. I work out like a Marine. Nico, I am in the gym for like an hour and a half a day. I don't really get breaks because even on my days off, I'm biking and I'm running errands and I'm doing this. I'm not on juice. A lot of people, I hate when people are like, oh, everybody's on juice. No, everybody is not on juice because people that actively, I'm working. I run on the Beyonce and the Megan Thee Stallion motto. If Beyonce can get on that stage and dance her tail off singing live vocals for over 2 hours, I can get in this treadmill. If Megan Thee Stallion is twerking and dropping it low and rapping all with breath control for over an hour and a half, I can lift these weights. I can do these squats. That's how I operate. So no, I will not say that everybody's taking an easy way out. What I will say is when I'm in Brazil, Nico, when I'm in Brazil and I'm bulk recording, sometimes because Viagra is over the counter in that country, I will buy some just because the body is willing, but the soul is tired. That's what I will say because I'm not going to act like I've never used a Viagra before. But the rest of it, I will not give credit to everybody's doing this, everybody's secretly straight. Because yes, there are straight people within the industry that are making hand over fist from us because you just don't know they're straight. I actually know like at least 3 people in this industry that are like big names from Brazil all the way to the US that are straight. But they never make that a focal point, such as Timothy, when he consistently tries to separate himself and or include himself depending on the proximity he wants to make more money. But with all that being said, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all. How do y'all feel about a lot of the white OnlyFans girls that are super popular secretly being straight and only doing this for money? How do you feel about a lot of people in the industry and outside? Because I want to emphasize that because of the whole physical perception image that's pushed on the LGBT community, a lot of people in your day-to-day that are not performers are on juice. It's true. I remember when I was first working out, I was at the gym and there was this super ripped like Indian guy. And I went up to him and I'm like, oh my God, how did you get so big? I want to know your secret. He was like, juice. I went, oh, there it is. So a lot of people, now that you know, how do you feel about a lot of performers secretly being on juice and or ED medication so that they can stay prepared to film? Because once again, like he said, I will give him credit. He is very honest about what he does outside of his sexuality. So him saying we are actually in awkward and uncomfortable positions for more than 40 minutes at a time. We are constantly flexing our muscles in these videos. So yes, we do need enhancers to actually do these things. I will give him credit, but does that ruin the fantasy for you? Knowing that sometimes people need an extra assistance just to make the content. But with that being said, I'll leave the conversation up to y'all and I'll see you guys next time. Boop. And now for a brief yet sincere shout out to this week's Third Eye Tier subscribers, Jalen H and Deva K. Your continued support is greatly appreciated, and thank you once again to everyone who supports the channel. We just hit 35K girlies, so I hope you all keep enjoying the tea, and I'll see you guys later. And this week's live stream is going to be another virtual hangout because I feel like we just need a calm little key after everything that's been happening in the world. If that sounds interesting to you and you want to kick back with the girlies, I'll see you there. basically talking about substance it, and they're using but he is being untruthful. Top comments for his top content